hands together for
Welcome. I just want to promise I will not ooze on you. Promise you, there will be no oozing. And I'd appreciate, Mark, if you would not eat while I speak. That's very rude. You guys know Mark is actually the founder of MacDoc Realty.
the green one.
Yes, the green one. We were green with a clover. That was Mark's idea. But yeah, welcome every one of you. This is great to have a full room. It's also great to know that you're willing to invest in yourself. I always say readers are leaders, and those that educate themselves are leaders. So being here today, making a quick sacrifice, getting some food, and listening to what I have to say, I think is a step in that direction. So, because I think what I have to say is very powerful. I think that the principle I'm going to speak about does have the opportunity to change some lives and change some careers. The one thing is what I'm going to speak about. The one thing that could take your business to a whole nother level. So what is that? The one thing that could take your income and catapult it 2-3 times what it was in 14. The one thing that can give you stress relief, that can give you margin in your life, margin that you can, the margin of time that you can spend with your family, that you can spend doing things you love, that can add enjoyment to what you do on a day-to-day basis. Because we know sometimes even the things we love don't bring enjoyment when there's not margin in our life. So it's the one thing. By the way, is my hair a mess? It is so wet and rainy out there. I was having to go get your all's food. It feels like maybe it's out of line. Paul was concerned that I get it right. But you guys like to watch movies? I know I do. I love to go to the movie theater and watch a movie. But in fact, I'm not really sure I like to watch movies. I like to eat popcorn with butter on it. I'm not sure which one it is. You guys like the popcorn, the butter at the movie theater? Yeah, me too. When they allowed us to start putting our own butter on the popcorn, that's dangerous. I don't know about you, but I will get the popcorn. I'll say fill it up halfway. I'll go over, and people are waiting in line behind me. Kind of like when you go to a restaurant and they crack the crack the pepper on your salad. It's like, or even better, the cheese at Carrabba's. It's like, stop when you're done. I'm like, I'm not going to say stop. You know, it's the same thing with the butter. I'm just going. People are like, are you going to be done? So I'll do halfway, and then I'll go back, fill it the rest of the way, and do the rest. Really bad. I mean, I'll eat so much of that butter or popcorn. It's really just butter. It's a catalyst. I mean, it's just a way to get the butter into my mouth. That I swear I'm gonna have a heart attack the next day. I yet to have one, thank God. But it's really, really dangerous. I think they put crack in it because it's really addictive. In fact, the other day, I hope this doesn't offend anybody. The other day there was somebody on the side of the street with, begging with a sign. It said, "We'll work for popcorn butter." Crazy. But I helped the guy. I helped the guy out. You guys should always help people out. And today he introduced me. It was a great thing. So, yeah, that was really great. I will get to the one thing. I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent. I wasn't even going to talk about this. But there really is something crazy about the butter. The butter does not make your popcorn soggy. Like if I put butter on my popcorn at home, it turns into like mush. I can put all the butter in something, I don't know what it is, but that's not the one thing. But I would like to know what it is so that I can figure it out. But anyhow, movies. So recently I saw this movie. It's called On the Edge of Tomorrow. You guys may have seen it. It's a sci-fi movie with Tom Cruise. And so Tom Cruise is in the military, set out to beat this alien army. And so they're called mimics. And Tom is fighting this mimic, and he shoots him, and I believe the mimic dies on him and like bleeds on him, oozes on him, and literally like a blue ooze. And so Tom Cruise dies. But what happens is he wakes up the very next morning in the exact same place. And what happened when he killed the mimic was he got the mimic's power. It was the alpha mimic that he killed. And that was that he could reset the day. So no matter if he died or not, he could reset the day. Every time he died, it reset the day. So these aliens were overtaking the earth, and the only way to beat them was for Tom Cruise's character to reset the day enough times that he could figure out how to navigate his way through the battlefield, how to find ways to kill these mimics and get to the alpha or mother mimic or whatever it was. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but he was able to reset the day every day, and he was able to navigate his day because of that. There's another movie that I really like that's not as intense, which is Groundhog Day. Many of you have seen Groundhog Day, yeah. So Bill Murray, love Bill Murray. Caddyshack, I love him in Caddyshack. But anyhow, so this is not quite as funny as Caddyshack, but still a good movie. Groundhog Day, Bill Murray is a journalist, and his job is to go to Puxatawny, PA, and he has to report on Puxatawny Phil, which is the groundhog, to see if he's going to see a shadow or not. Well, he's a very arrogant man. He doesn't want to be there. He wants to get out of there. And lo and behold, about the time he wants to get out of there, I think he has a Christmas party or not Christmas, it wouldn't be Christmas, but some party to go to, and he gets stuck because of in the middle of, I guess when is that? February, March, I don't know, whatever. So he gets stuck in the snowstorm. He has to stay at a bed and breakfast. He wakes up the next morning. It's the exact same day. So at first he's like, maybe this isn't real. So then he goes to bed, wakes up the next day, same day, Groundhog Day, over and over. So at first he says, well, he's just going to make fun of it. He's going to do reckless things. He's going to go get drunk. He's going to eat everything he could eat, all the fun things you could think of. And then the pivotal scene in the movie, he's sitting at a bar drinking some beer, and one of the local drunks says, there's two types of people in life. There's those that see the glass, and they're pointing to a glass, half full, and there's those that see it half empty. And he looks at Bill Murray's character and he says, you see things half full. So about that time, it clicks in Bill Murray's mind, and he just decides that he's gonna change the way Puxatawny is ran. He's gonna save people's lives. He's gonna do all these things. So he changes his focus, and he's able to know what's happening each day, so he can get ahead of it and change things. Right? Well, wouldn't we all love to have the opportunity to occasionally know what's going to happen in our day? Yeah. I know I would. There's times that I set my day out, and man, I feel like that everything that can be thrown at me gets thrown at me. And the day does not go the way I want it to go. I'd love to be able to hit the reset button and start over, right? There's some days we don't want to hit the reset button because we don't want to go through it again. But there's times that we wish we could because there's things we could change. There's also times that we wish that we had a Groundhog Day moment where it's like, man, I did that okay, but I wish I could do a little bit better. I hope that's not for me today, but we'll see. So we all have those groundhog moments where we wish we could do it a little better. And the way that these characters in this movie could do that was because they knew what was coming. They knew what happened the day before. Well, I'm here to tell you the one thing can allow that. Okay, the one thing we're going to talk about can help you stack the deck in your favor. The one thing, no matter if you're a real estate agent, stay-at-home mom, whatever you are, we're real estate agents in here, can help you set your day in a way that you can somewhat know what's going to happen. We can't always reset button. We can't do those things. But we can set our days up in a way that we'll know what's going to happen. And that one thing, the one thing is a focused daily routine. So it's a very focused daily routine. I know from the surface it may not sound real deep. It may sound daily routine. That's not the one thing. But I believe it is the one thing. But don't just take it from me. I wrote down some quotes. So the first quote I have is from John Maxwell. John Maxwell is one of the leading experts in leadership. He's the author of many books. If you go on to Amazon and type in John Maxwell, you will see, I don't know, Jeremy, how many books will we see? 20, 30? I mean, tons. The founder of the Chick-fil-A leadership cast, maybe, or he's a big part of it. So he's helping leaders throughout our generation. So we should listen to what he says. He says, you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So the one thing, the secret to your success. Mike Murdoch says, the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. Clive Barker says, I love this quote, be regular and orderly in your life that you may be violent and original in your work. I mean, is that great? Be orderly in your life that you may be violent and original in your work. Margaret Hadding says, the only possible way to have it all is with structure and discipline to keep it, to make it a routine. And then back to John Maxwell. Most of life consists of regular routines and steady disciplines. I believe that's true for most successful leaders. Why? Because the secret of your success is found in your daily routine. Well, I also believe that. I just wanted you to know some other people do too. And it has been the game changer for me in my life. I've been very blessed and fortunate to see success. in areas of my life. Of course, we're always working towards other areas of success. But a daily focused routine has been instrumental to me. And I believe that every realtor in the room, every person in this room can see exponential results, can see higher income, can see more satisfaction in their daily lives, in their daily routines by adding a focused daily routine. And we can do that with these 3 simple steps. I have 3 steps for you that you guys can take with you today. So, the first step is we need to identify. Okay, we need to identify our key habits. Keystone habits, sorry, not key habits. Our keystone habits. So you may wonder, what is a keystone habit, right? Well, keystone habit, this is really good. I read this in a book recently, and it's been a little life-changing for me. Is a keystone, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to just close this a bit. There you go, that's good for me. A keystone habit is a habit that creates chain reactions for other habits, okay? So there's 3 identifying factors to a keystone habit. For me, waking early is a keystone habit. If I wake early, it gives me a sense of victory. I wake up at 5 a.m., I feel good about myself. I feel like that's a small victory. I think we all need small victories. We have enough defeats at times. So it's a great small victory. It's fertile soil for new habits. I know if I wake up early, and I'll talk about my routine here soon, my next step in my routine, which is pray and read. I pray every morning. I would encourage you that if you're not a spiritual person, to become one. I'm a Christian. It's everything that gets me through my day. So I would love to talk to you about that if you have any more interest. But we are spiritual beings. You need to have some part of your day, if it's meditation, whatever it would be. For me, it's praying and reading the Word of God. So I spend time doing that. But getting up early is the fertile soil that gets me to that point. If I don't get up early, I just rush off to work and I skip that. Right? So it was fertile soil for another habit. And it gives me energy and confidence to move forward. So when I wake up early, it gives me, believe it or not, it gives me energy. It gives me energy. People would say, waking up early, that just bums me out. Well, that's because you didn't have your nightly routine right. If your nightly routine, we have different routines in our lives, that's my morning routine, will dictate your next morning routine. Okay? So another keystone habit of mine would be eating. Okay? Beach fries. Bad for Jeremy. Right? Butter popcorn. Bad for Jeremy. So it's keystone habit. But my keystone habit, when I eat healthy, it causes me to do other things. Okay, so let's go through the 3 steps. Okay, the first step is that it gives me a small sense of victory. So every time I have a good meal, I eat a salad, I eat what I'm supposed to eat, I feel good about myself. It gives me a sense of victory. My next is, it's fertile soil for new habits. Yeah, when I eat right, well, what do I want to do? I want to exercise. I take my vitamins every day. When I'm eating bad, I don't take my vitamins. I take my vitamins every day. I drink more water. I do the other things that make me more healthy. It's soil ground, it's fertile ground for new habits. And it gives me energy, obviously, when you eat right. It gives you energy, and it gives me confidence, because when I eat right, my belt goes down, my waistline goes down, so I feel better about myself. It gives me confidence. So that's a keystone habit. I don't know what your keystone habits are. I have others, okay? Only you know what your keystone habit is. Many of you will probably have similar keystone habits to mine, because it seems like as I talk to people, a lot of us have similar keystone habits. But you need to, the first step in setting your routine is to identify your keystone habits. Okay. The next step is to analyze. So we identified our keystone habits. Now it's time to analyze our daily routine, our daily commitments, and our ebbs and flows. Okay? We all have different commitments, every one of us. Some of us are stay-at-home moms. Some of us are single moms. Some of us are retirees. I don't know what your daily commitments are. I don't know what your daily ebb and flows are. But you need to analyze that. You need to really think about, what are my daily ebb and flows? What are my daily obligations? Okay? I will warn you, however, that there are probably 3 traits that we should all have in our daily ebb and flow. See, I recently read an article that was very interesting. It was on like the top 30 people of the history and what were their routines. Okay, and I noticed, like, it was people like, names I'm sure you've heard of. Well, bear with me for 1 second. People like Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, Rockefeller, Beethoven, Barack Obama. Matt, do you agree he's successful? It's a loaded question. Stephen King, Richard Branson, Gandhi, people like that. We would all like to be in that, right? Well, they all had 3 characteristics that they all share in common. All 30 of these people did. Those are some of the names I pulled out. right? One is they all woke early and made the most of their waking hours. They all woke early and made the most of their waking hours. Okay? The second is they were highly focused on their goals. Their habits, their routines were highly focused on their goals, and they were masters at getting distraction away from them. Okay? And the third is they all had exercise as part of their daily routine. Every one of them. The top 30 successful people in the history of the world, they all had three common themes. So I would say, no matter what your ebb and flow is, no matter what your commitments are, you need to get up early. Now, your kids may not get on the bus till 9. It doesn't mean you get up at 8:30 and get them breakfast and on the bus, right? You get up early. You get up at 5, whatever time that is for you. You need to have exercise as part of your schedule. It may be walking for you, maybe CrossFit for Paul, maybe eating for Matt. I have to give Matt a hard time because he's been giving me a hard time lately. So whatever that is, you need to make exercise part of it, and you need to be highly focused, which brings me to my next step. So first step was identify. We need to identify our keystone habits, which is fun to do. It's fun to know your keystone habits. I want to say one other thing about keystone habits, by the way. Keystone habits can go the other way as well. Okay? I think that's what probably motivates me more positive, is what can happen if I don't have good keystone habits. What happens if I eat bad? It's still a keystone habit, right? But when I eat bad, like I went to eat wings with Paul the other day, I ate really bad. Found out wings were 60 cents that day, and we just went crazy. It was awesome. It was great. It was amazing. When I go to the movie theater, I'm not working out that day. Trust me. If I eat 5 tubs of popcorn butter, I'm not going to the gym. So it's fertile soil for habits, but it can be fertile soil for the wrong thing as well. It can kill your energy and confidence. So every keystone habit can go positive or negative. So it's very important that we identify those in our lives so that we can make sure we're doing the positive side of our keystone habits, right? Another thing that I want to mention before we get to the third step is, I especially want to say this to the agents, is I believe successful people show up. I believe successful people show up. And I say that especially to agents. And the reason I say that especially to agents is because many of us as agents become self-employed because we want to be self-employed. We don't want a boss. I was there. I get it, right? So many of us say, well, I'm going to be self-employed. But what we forget is self-employed means you are now the employee and you are the boss. So habits create a process where you can boss yourself, you can make sure that you are doing the correct things as an employee. But what most of us will do is say, well, I'm self-employed, I'm my own boss. So you'll wake up at 9 and you'll have your oatmeal and watch your Ellen DeGeneres or whoever she's on or whoever that is. And then, oh, if I get a phone call or an email that I have to show a house, then I'll do something about it. I'll get to my prospecting, I'll get to my marketing when I get to it. That doesn't work. You have to show up. You have to have a start time every day. So that's part of being highly focused, which we're going to get to. So we identify our keystone habits. We analyze our ebbs and flows, our commitments. And then the third is we focus. Okay, and what does that mean? How do you focus your daily routine? Well, it's really simple, really. First off, you focus it in a way that you get it on paper. So I would encourage every one of you, when you leave here, you should get those habits on paper. You should get your daily ebbs and flows on paper. You should get a skeleton of what it looks like. You should brainstorm. You should brainstorm it all, have it in front of you. That's part of focusing. But now what you have to do is you have to take it down the funnel. The further you get down the funnel, the more focused it gets, right? So we need to take it down the funnel, get it extremely focused like a laser. Not a light here, but a laser that can cut through steel, right? That's how focused we want to be. So we focus it around our goal set. So whatever our goals are, the routine should be focused around our goals. It should just be, I want to get up because I want to get up, and then I want to do this, and oh, this sounds good. No, it should take you to a path. It should take you to a place. Just like the 30 most successful people in our history were all focused on their goals, so should you. That's one way. The other way we should focus is it should be in front of us all the time. If you look at my calendar, you will see my routine on my calendar. It says, wake up at 5. That's my routine. It will say, pray and read at 6:20 or 5:20. It will say, leave for gym at 6. It will say, be at office at 8:30. Do I need that reminder? No, it's a routine. Once you do a routine, it becomes your routine. But it's there, so I stay focused at all times. There's times that I get off of it. We all do. There's times that that I turkey hunt. I love to hunt, right? But I need that there to remind me that I'm not following my routine. It reminds me constantly. I also have things that remind me on my phone, okay? I use D-U-E, it's a good app. I'm migrating to Todoist, which is a great app as well. You can actually assign people tasks. It's a great app, Todoist. It integrates across all your devices, including your computer. Really good. But I have reminders that come up, and you guys are going to laugh at this, and that's fine. But I have a reminder that comes up every day that says, are you going to let food beat you? Because I'm very competitive, right? So I let food beat you. I'm not going to let food beat me. No way is that beating me. So you need to do things like that. Whatever your keystone habit is, you need to maybe create that it's in front of you. Are you going to exercise today? If you don't exercise, maybe whatever that would be. Everybody's going to be a little different. But that's how I stay highly focused. You focus your routine around your goal set, and you focus it so it's in front of you at all times so you can see it. So we're going to identify keystone habits. We're going to analyze our ebb and flows, and then we're going to focus it by getting it all in one place. Pretty simple, right? I think it's something we can all do. But here's the deal. Everybody in this room, every one of us, has a unique talent and skill set. Every one of us. And nobody is the same. Nobody's the same as me. Mark is probably the closest person to me as far as mindset as anybody I know. But his talents and his skill sets are much different than mine. We're different people. No matter who you're sitting beside, no matter where you're at in life, you have a different skill set and a different talent in your life than anybody else. That's how God made you. You're made different. We're all set apart. We're all different. So we all have that, but what most of us don't have is a daily focused routine that will allow us to take that skill set, that talent, and do the best with it. Guys, the real estate market needs what you have. Believe me, the real estate market needs what you have. MacDoc Realty needs what you have. The special thing about you that you have. We need that. You need what you have. Your family needs what you have. If you will set out today to take those 3 steps and create a focused daily routine, I am confident that you can take your talents, your abilities, and take them to a whole nother level. See all new success. See higher income. See greater relationships spiritually, emotionally, family. All across the board, my life has changed because of strong daily habits. But one last warning before we leave is we live in a society of fast food, of give me now, I want it, I want it, I want it. We have beach fries outside. Why is it taking, it took me 10 minutes to get something that it would take 2 hours at home. You know, it's like, what's going on? We live in that society. Well, I read a book some time ago, and it's by Darren Hardy. It's called The Compound Effect. One of my favorite books. We live in a society that we want immediate results. So some of you will leave here today and start writing down your habits, and you'll get them focused, and you'll have this highly focused daily routine, right? But a week from now, you're going to say, man, why am I getting up at 5 a.m.? Man, why am I doing this? I'm not seeing, my income hasn't increased. I'm not seeing any change in what I'm doing. And let me say, I'm going to back up just real fast, and I'll get back to that. You need to have daily, I have many routines. Okay, I told you my morning routine, but I have a work routine. Okay, when I'm at work. I'm not going to get into it. It's probably going to bore you to death, but it has a lot to do with when I'll check emails, when I won't, what I'm going to spend time on reacting, those type of things. I also have a nighttime routine. Because here's what I know. I am not getting up at 5 a.m. if I go to bed at 2 a.m. because I watched Letterman's Last Hurrah. I wanted to watch it, but I didn't. Because I knew I wasn't going to get up. It just wasn't going to happen. So you need to have different segments of routines in your life. And you have to make sure that if you set up a morning routine, your nighttime routine plays into it. You can't have a nighttime routine that I'm going to read till 2 and then wake up at 5. You'll burn yourself out. But back to what I was going to say. We're in a society where we want immediate results. This could take some time. For some of you, you'll see immediate results. For some of you, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment immediately. Others of you, you may not. But that's okay, because the compound effect is around one premise, and that is small changes. This is Darren Hardy's book. Small changes made consistently over time equal exponential results. So it's small changes. What is a small change? A small change is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to put together a focused daily routine, right? Consistently over time. That doesn't mean you do it for a week and you quit if you don't see results. It means you know you know that is a difference maker. Trust me, it is. It's been a difference maker for me. It's a difference maker for the people that I quoted earlier. It's a difference maker for the top 30 people in our history. It's a difference maker. You know it. Trust it. Small change, consistently over time, you will see exponential results. I'm confident. But what I don't want is for there to be that week or two down the road, where are the results, and get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Stick with it. So I just want to encourage each of you today. I know if you will implement this, you can see massive success. You can see a change in your life. And I just wish you guys the best. Thanks so much.